It's time now for our daily look at some of the newspaper and website stories that have caught our eye. Joining us is James Innes, the author and founder of the James Innes Group. Good to see you.
Good morning.
We've picked this one from the Telegraph. Really interesting, the legal case that British American tobacco is finding itself embroiled in.
Indeed, of course, earlier you were discussing the Tesco China charity cards prison labour story that's been all over the news over the weekend and today. And this, I feel, is a related story, again highlighting abuses of labour. British American Tobacco, BAT, a landmark court case. It's been described as modern slavery, tobacco farm children, countries such as Malawi, and they're skipping school, even sometimes missing a term or two, a whole year. The case has been brought by human rights lawyers. It's not the first time they've attempted this. There was an attempt which failed back in the 90s. BAT maintain they have done all that they possibly can to stop child labour, and activists dismiss these claims. There are, of course, many other cases of abuse of labour around the world. But what I ask myself is, when are we going to learn to treat others as we ourselves wish to be treated, the so-called golden rule?
Well, I suppose it comes down to the point when people start asking the question themselves, where does my cigarette come from? And it makes the point that few smokers think twice about who's farmed the tobacco.
I should imagine most smokers don't even give it a second thought. But this is just one example of many abuse of labour around the world, certainly. And the idea that young children should be missing school, in many cases their parents weren't educated at all. They now have the opportunity to go to school, but they're being taken out of school to farm tobacco so that people can smoke.
It says here that actually in some cases tenants are routinely forced to enlist the help of children to meet the terms of demanded contracts.
I suppose the difficulty is when you've got global supply chains, it can be very tricky to actually keep tabs on.
Indeed, that's the case for Tesco as well, isn't it? Absolutely, it's very hard when they're so distanced in such a global economy. It's very, very hard for them to keep tabs on this sort of thing. But British American Tobacco, the link there is much clearer. They know that the farming is going on. They do know some of this. They are maintaining they have done all they can to stop specifically the child labour, but they're in much closer contact than Tesco is, for example, with this factory in China.
We're going to say we want to have a look at this article in The Guardian as well. The awards for worst customer service.
Yes, indeed, yeah. Anna Timms has written what I think is a very amusing piece highlighting customer service failings. I think in particular I love the categories she's chosen, clearly representing the issues I think we all face as modern consumers. The first one, there's most brazen profiteering, which is the car hire sector with insurance. We're always trying to sell us insurance when we pick up a car.
Who hasn't been shafted by car hire service, really?
Well, exactly. Most
the add-ons that you don't know about till you get your bill at the end of it.
Right.
Yeah, and the
then
extra
you drop the car back and they say all is fine, and then a week later they've picked up a scratch somewhere. Canniest opt-out I love as well. That's the telecom sector. The Keep Connected broadband promise, which costs over 60 quid a month. I've actually subscribed to that myself, might cancel it now. Clause 10E, planned or unplanned outages are not covered. Nor are faults in the home environment.
Well, there you go. Demand some money back.
Yes.
Great to have you with us, James. Have a lovely Christmas.
You too.
Nice to see you.